Good evening. Happy Easter. How are we? Have we had a lovely Easter Sunday? I'm forgetting what day it is. Welcome. We've had very good sunshine today, haven't we? Which has been lovely. So welcome to the second part of Dr. Dread. So if you remember yesterday, we met that really nasty, smelly boy who was called Bog. Do you remember Bog? That was Bog. We met Bog. And he snorted all the time, didn't he? So, talking about Bog. He let the air out of all the footballs and replaced it with his own bottom burps. So every time someone kicked the ball, a stink came out. Like the ones that my dog does. He snorted. He snotted on the floor just outside the boys' toilet until he'd created a big pool. Then he hid behind the lockers and watched as boy after boy slipped over on their bottoms. Slide. Woof! He'd snort. He started a snowball fight with mashed potato in the dining hall. Bog made sure every kid got hit with a mash ball right in the face. Split, splat, splot. He'd go. He nicked a pot of purple paint from the art room. He then painted his bottom purple and covered the wall in bum prints. Splat. Look at that. He'd go. He dropped a slippery, slappery, sluppery slug down the back of the head boy's shirt. Ah! He tricked some younger kids into swallowing live tadpoles by telling them that they were yummy chocolate balls. Oh. He'd go. He'd snort. I want my mummy. However, Bog would save his absolute worst behaviour for his science lesson. He knew he'd met his match in Dr. Dread and was hell-bent on getting the better of him. If the boy was warned not to spill the bubbling liquid he was holding, as it would burn through the worktop, he would pour it straight onto it. Sizzle. If Bog was ordered not to stick the iron filings to his face to create a comedy beard, he would do it anyway. Ta-da! If Bog was told never to mix two acids together as they would cause an explosion, the boy would do just that. Kaboom! Bog, Dread barked one afternoon, spraying the entire class with his spittle. You are in deep, deep doo-doo. What have I done now, sir? Replied Bog with a smirk. Stuck this piece of paper to my back. Dr. Dread turned round. On his lab coat was a sign that read, Beware, toxic gas. Look. All the rest of the children in the classroom sniggered nervously. Quiet, boomed the teacher. And there was quiet. Dread continued. Bog, I have the perfect punishment for you. One that is guaranteed to reduce even the naughtiest of children to floods of tears. Bog, I command you. You must come and sit in my chair of 1,000 farts. Wah, ah, ah, ah. As the teacher rose from his chair, all eyes in the science room turned to the back of the class. To the surprise of all the kids, Bog had a big fat grin on his face. Gladly, sir, the boy replied brightly. With that, he hopped off his stool and skipped to the front. Before Dread could order the boy to sit, he had already bounced down onto the chair. Squelch! Sighed Bog, his nostrils flared to savour the scent. like a cartoon child sniffing gravy in a television commercial. What a delicious aroma! Dr. Dread looked lost. But, boy, this is the dreaded chair of 1,000 farts, he thundered. Boy's expression turned to one of quiet concentration. Then, a trumpet sound came from his bottom. Make that 1,001, sir. Sniggered the kids. Silence! Thundered Dread. This only made them laugh some more. I said silence! It was too late. Dread had lost control of his classroom. Get back to your place at once. At once! He bellowed. The boy jumped up and with a spring in his step bounced back onto his stool. The teacher slumped back down into his chair of 1,001 farts, defeated. And if that wasn't bad enough, Dread began choking. He seized his neck with his hands and retched, Bog! That stink bomb Bog had left behind was absolutely lethal. It was far worse than his own bottom bubbles. In comparison, they smelt like the sweetest perfume. For your information, the sweetest perfume is in fact my own scent, a whiff of Walliams, 99p a gallon. That's from David Walliams. Dring! The bell rang for the end of a lesson as a still choking Dr. Dread slid down onto the floor. Lying there in a pool of his own spittle, the once feared teacher was determined to do something. Anything to get revenge. What's he going to do? So that night, when he returned home to his basement flat on the outskirts of town, the teacher limped straight down to his top secret laboratory, deep underground. There, by candlelight, he began devising a host of new punishments, each one far deadlier than the chair of 1,001 farts. Dread made mechanical drawings on a chalkboard and he began collecting all the ingredients he needed. Putting the end of a bendy straw into his ear, he sucked out all the yellowy wax. Next, he rolled it into balls. Then he placed the straws into his nostrils so he could extract every last drop of snot. Slurp. Dread collected gallons of it, filling 3 old tin baths to the brim. The teacher worked through the night. By dawn he'd finally finished and was ready to unleash these punishments on Bog. Mwah-ah-ah, he cackled. Dread was determined to teach this blasted boy a lesson once and for all. Happy Easter. Ding! The bell rang for the first lesson of the day, and for Bog it was science. Dread smirked as the boy squelched his way into the classroom. Squelch, squelch, squelch. Little did he know what was coming to him. However, Bog had a plan of his own. Under his desk at the back of the class, he began secretly mixing together some of the gloopiest chemicals in a pot. The boy wanted to make the stickiest, gunkiest gunk so he could glue his teacher to his own chair. Yes. He would be stuck to the chair of 1,001 farts forever with the glue. What's going to happen? Is Bog going to stick him to the chair? Is he?